we're continuing to celebrate 100 years of Farmall here on Classic Tractor Fever, and right now we're talking tractors with Joe Miller of CaseIH. Joe, welcome.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about some of the ways CaseIH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall.
Well, Brian, we're really excited about the Farmall 100th celebration. It was about a year ago, we realized this anniversary was coming up, and we said, hey, as I joke within my company, I said, we only turn 100 once, right? Let's make some noise. And so we did. So we kicked off this year right away in February with the fall farm shows. We brought in, the winter farm shows. We brought in a lot of heritage ads, some of the old Farmall stories, and some of the advertisements that we've done in the past, and some good pictures. And then we kind of kicked that off with some good memories and fond recollections of what Farmall has meant to so many people within the company. At the NCBA show at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, that's where we really jumped into Farmall 100. We've added some special decals to tractors built in 2023. We have highlighted some stories. We've got a dedicated website where people can come in, share their stories, share their tractors. But really the whole idea was just to bring Farmall forward and do it in such a way that people could share their fondness and their stories with Farmall. And that's really what we tried to get to was Farmall's meant so many things to so many people across multiple generations. Let's try to find a way where people are welcome to share their stories and share what that brand means to them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as we look back to 1923 when the Farmall name was first introduced, what do you think some of the major milestones have been in that 100 years? I know you weren't around way back then, neither was I. But.
No, I think when you look at it and go back to that first Farmall, right? And one thing that was interesting to me as I did some research on this was that design, that tricycle front end design with the big rear tires and the tricycle front end, that was innovative and radical at the time. I mean, there wasn't that standard tractor like we would see today with the big tires in the back and the smaller tires in the front. This was completely a revolutionary idea that they brought forward. And then that ability to farm all, just the row crop work, drawbar work, livestock work, and truly a tractor to replace the horse on the farm, but to replace the horse on the farm with additional tools, the cultivating and so on. You fast forward through the years and we brought out that Farmall Red. We went from gray to red and that bright color for safety as more tractors were being on the roads and they wanted to be more visible. And then my favorite Farmall series, we get into the letter series in like 39 with the H's and M's and the C's and B's. And that's really where I think things took off. The Raymond Loewy design, it was pretty to look at, it was functional, and it was, the controls were laid out easily and clearly for the operator. But you go back to some of the things that Farmall's done great. We were the first tractor with over 100 horsepower. We were the first tractor with a turbocharged engine from the factory, right? So Farmall had done all of these things that were really for leading in the industry. The torque amplifier came in 1954. There's a lot of leadership that Farmall has done for us as a brand and us as an industry, and it's a great time to celebrate that.
So Joe, the Farmall regular when it came out in 1923, and then as you mentioned, the letter series later on, and the style, the design, the innovation. Why do you think Farmall tractors were such a home run with farmers kind of season after season?
Well, I think it was that ability to truly farm in all applications. The Farmall name, we always, talk about why farm some when you can farm all, and it really was that tractor for all the jobs. And as it became that tractor for all the jobs, what happened there was it became like a part of the family. Farmers, when maybe back before they were doing such large acres and it was more a diversified farm with livestock and grains on the farm itself, that tractor was something that they started up every day. They used it to take care of livestock, used it to do their row crop work, and it became something that they became dependent upon as the producers of that tractor. And as such, that dependability, that reliability, that rugged innovation in terms of just having things where you needed it, as you needed it, that became something that customers really relied on with their equipment. And that's why, fast forward 100 years later, I go to a farm show, and I'm sure, Brian, you've been there, and you talk to customers that have these things. They go back with really fond memories of decades ago, working with these tractors. We've got a lot of people that store and collect, and what's the one they want? They want Grandpa's tractor, they want Dad's tractor, the one that they bought new, and they want to bring that one back because the iron itself was important, but it was the ability to get the work done when they needed to and that they could depend on it. that's what made Farmall such an important brand.
So Joe, for lots of families all across the country, the Farmall tractor is what put food on the table, money in the bank. And I know this story is personal for you. Tell us a little bit about your family and your connection to Farmall tractors.
Well, Brian, I grew up on a farm in north central Indiana. My family and I still live on that farm. And growing up on that farm, it was an old IH farm. We used a lot of heritage IH pieces, M's, Super M's. We had a 856, 1456, 666. So we had a number of different Farmall series that we used at that time. The most important tractor, I guess, that was formative to me was my grandfather's 53 Super M. That's the first tractor I drove by myself. We still have it. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed several years ago, but we still have his tractor. And we're working on it right now. We're trying to get it going. My son's helping me. My dad's working with me. So you figure it's Grandpa's tractor, and then there's 3 more generations that are working on that piece of equipment, trying to get it back going, parade worthy, if you will. But that's something that's very important. Yeah. And when we grew up, we had a Angus beef cattle herd. And so we fed the cows twice a day with the 54 Super MTA. And regardless of all the other equipment we had for our row crop operation, that MTA had to start and run every day to feed the cows. And that dependability, I mean, it's just, you do become very impassionate and very fond of the equipment that you're running, because just how dependable it was and just what it meant to you in the entire operation.
And then I know as part of this 100th anniversary celebration that Case IH has been collecting stories like yours, personal stories. Tell us a little bit about some of what you've heard and found so far.
So, Case IH, we've shared a lot of stories over the years. At farm shows, we have a lot of people that come in that want to talk about their old Farmall. They want to talk about, what some of their older Case IH legacy product that they grew up with. So we've had a great time always for the years talking with customers about that. But this year here with the celebration, we've done something special. We have a website dedicated to the history of Farmall, and it's farmall100.com, so farmall100.com. And there you can see where we've got people that are that shared stories. They have shared pictures. They've shared what the brand means to them. There's a place for people to come in and share their own personal stories, which is great.
It's almost unbelievable that this is a name that's been around for 100 years now. How has Case IH worked to kind of build on that Farmall legacy, that firm foundation that was set so long ago?
Well, that's a really great question, because if you go back to the legacy of Farmall tractors, from 1923 to the mid-70s, and it was a little fuzzy there where harvesters stopped putting because it used to be Farmall was the row crop tread, and then the International was the standard tread, and well, it got to be about that 66 series that it got kind of hard to tell them apart, right? And so when International Harvester used up some of the Farmall decals, everything kind of switched to the International. And it was gone for a while. It was in 2003 we brought it back, and we brought it back on our compact tractor line. And I started the company in 2003, so I remember the conversations was, well, why are we bringing it back? A Farmall tractor, which, H's and M's and up to these, big powers of the 1970s. Why are we going with something, like a compact tractor? And you realize that, again, back to the spirit of one tractor for all applications. Really, that was every farm, every government, municipality, school district. They always have something they can do with a tractor from 30 to 55 to 100 horsepower. And that became where we really put this in, was our utility-sized tractors that can be used for all farms and all applications. So we continue to do that. Today, Case IH is very proud. We have over 30 different models of Farmall tractors, different specs, different features, cabs, ROPS, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, to really, again, put a Farmall on every farm and in every application that those operators need it for.
And here in 2023, new Farmall tractors are going to carry a kind of a tribute to the roots of Farmall. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely, Brian. Part of the celebration we decided to do was we wanted to designate 2023 as being the year of the Farmall tractor and a big year. So on all Farmall tractors built in 2023, be it a compact tractor or a larger utility tractor, we're actually putting a 100-year decal on the side of the Farmall. So it'll designate that tractor was built in the calendar year celebrating 100 years of Farmall tractors. You'll start to see those around at dealerships here soon. A lot of our Farmall production is done in different areas across the globe. So as you start to see those move in, it'll be based on when those units come in, but very exciting to see a whole bunch of Farmall 100-year decals. It'll designate 1923 to 2023, and it's a really good looking decal. The team did a great job with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know lots and lots of collectors that we meet all across the country have the fever for Farmall tractors. I do as well. I've got a Farmall M in my family history. Just what would your message be to all those people who are so passionate about Farmall tractors?
Well, number one, thank you for your passion, right? And thank you for your stories. Thank you for talking to us at farm shows. Thank you for restoring this iron and restoring this legacy, because it is very important. The other thing I would like to just reach out and let your collecting enthusiasts know that the same love, passion, and desire to build a quality, dependable, and a unit that all farms and all sizes can depend on, that continues today 100 years later at CaseIH. When you see Farmall tractors, understand that we are working to continue to offer those products that can deliver the absolute best value, comfort, and dependability that the customers from 100 years ago or 75 years ago or 50 years ago have come to expect. So I do hope that your viewing base, when they see us at farm shows, they see us at a local dealer, that they come in and they talk about this product and they see the innovation that existed 100 years ago is alive and well today at CaseIH in our current line of Farmall tractors.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Brian.
Joe Miller from CaseIH, and if you want to learn more, go to the website farmall100.com. Hey there, thanks for catching Classic Tractor Fever. If you'd like to see more red power, be sure to check out these other classic stories. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep those classic tractor stories rolling.